Season 2 has dropped. Well, the trailer's dropped, and we're going to be talking about it right now. Yeah, that's an exciting start, isn't it? Anyway, Season 2, the collection, the first black and white collection, the trailer has literally just dropped, and we're gonna sort of react to that. I'm selling this, sort of reacting. So, guys, what do you think?
Oh, it was a beautiful trailer. It was so wonderful to see Maureen O'Brien back, and I do, you know, these little snippet trailers are really beautifully made, and I thought it was such a wonderful, you know, called The Storyteller, linked to her exit story. It's such a nice little callback to her time on the show.
It was, and it was just done with. It just felt really lovely. In fact, to be honest, I've got to be honest, seeing her on screen as Vicky again just gave me a little bit of like it's really a nice moment, that. But I love the way it starts. It takes you all the way back to Dido with the spaceship, and she's looking out the window, and then the TARDIS is landing, and it's just a really nice little lead in, I think, to what is. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a great box set release.
It's interesting because there's not a huge amount of new stuff to this. That's not me having a pop-up, or anyone said that's not me having a pop-up, because the DVDs of this were all quite well covered, and, you know, it's 60 years on. There's not an awful lot you can do. There are some new, call them hero documentaries, don't we?
Yeah.
So there's a making of sort of the story of Season 2, which was quite exciting.
Yeah, Flight Through Eternity. You almost needed to put your little voice on for that one, but I mean, I think that's going to be great. And it's nice because some of the 60s stuff that's come out previously haven't had documentaries attached to them. So it'd be nice if they do wrap up some of those stories and get those into that, I think. And
there's a Doctor Who collectors documentary, isn't there? I saw, with lots of. Was it Emily Cook going into people's houses and having a look at their collections?
Emily Cook breaking into people's houses and having a look through their collections. That is literally the feature.
I'm sure
she's got a little eye mask on so that nobody can quite recognise her, and she's like troll through. This is what she wants, and takes it.
She just pockets it while they're talking to camera.
And then they tell you how much she sold it for on eBay. That is a really exciting sounding documentary.
Although I've got to say, £8,000 for that inflatable Dalek's going some, isn't it?
It was.
Yeah, the thing is, you say that, Clifford, but you paid £100 for 2 Dalek movies that you didn't bother to unseal. So it's all horses for courses, isn't it, really?
And the one documentary I really am looking forward to here is the one about David Whittaker. I'm really keen to see that.
Do you think Toby finds him? It's called In Search of David Whittaker.
Yeah.
That was what I was going with there, Jason.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I think that might be a tiny bit difficult, but hopefully we get to cover a little bit around his career and get to know him a little bit more, because he's right, he's quite forgotten, really, that he was quite integral right there back in the beginning of Doctor Who.
And then we got 2 new Matthew Sweet interviews.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Maureen one. I'm slightly trepidatious about the William one, depending on. I think it'll be very sensitively edited and all that sort of thing. But I know it's a few years back, but even so, I know, you know, William's been in sort of decline in the last few years. He's a good age. I'm not saying he's stupid. It'd be interesting to see how that comes across on camera in that interview situation. But the Maureen one should be a good watch, I think, for sure, because she's usually quite forthright on what she thinks about things, I think.
Yeah, and she does. She will be. You can see it. You can see already she's going to be, and we've had her at. She's come along to a couple of Phantom events and spoken on stage, and she's got quite a lot of remembering and opinion, really, of her days on Doctor Who. So looking forward to seeing that.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, even in the little clip, Matthew Sweet makes a sort of allusion to her colourful language, and she's sort of like, "Oh, yes, I'm still like that." Which I think's really good.
There is now here. Look, this is where we can go a bit ideal world. There is only one new commentary on this track, folks. One new commentary on this set, and that's the guys who found Doctor Who and the Lion. So, should you like Ah, how smooth was that? Should you like your commentaries about Doctor Who and season 2? My lighting's terrible here, isn't it, for this? There are a plethora, and I mean, a plethora is a lot, folks, of season 2 related commentaries all available. Joking aside, there are actually some really good tracks in there, and there's something for, there's 3 commentaries of the Crusade. Both episodes alternating. You can have William and Maureen watching the Crusade. So there's lots of things there. Check out the Phantom website for that.
Because there's not much new or like enhanced bits to the actual stories, are there? There's a new soundtrack, an enhanced soundtrack for Dalek Invasion of Earth, but there's nothing.
Do we know how it's enhanced? Do we know what that is?
No, it's not made clear yet. I do wonder if it'll be modern Dalek noises and effects, and maybe Nick Briggs possibly voicing the Daleks.
That'd be a treat for all. I mean, I heard someone say that there isn't a behind the sofa for all episodes. I don't know how true that is or not. Having only heard from the actors saying that they'd watched the season, they wouldn't necessarily say, I watched the whole season, but we missed the Crusade out, and I really like the Crusade. So I'm only taking it on that they've seen the majority of it.
They've not forced them to sit for a reconstruction.
Could you imagine, just like they've gone to Telesnaps this week and they've still changed their costumes?
How do we feel about it coming out as Telesnaps, the 2 missing episodes?
See, some people are incensed, aren't they? It's like there are 37 episodes on 37 episodes for 50 quid is a steal. I mean, it's a steal. I don't think I ever expected them to be animated. If they were going to animate the Crusade, it would be a separate release to get the money back to pay for it. You couldn't. I mean, the finances would never stack up to say, let's have it as a bonus feature on this set. You'd get the Steelbook, the Blu-ray, the DVD, the waggle stick, whatever it is, but you'd have to merchandise it to get them to pay for that before you used it on a.
You would. And I'd rather have, I think, the Telesnap reconstruction in this way than I would just have 2 audio episodes included. So I'd rather have this. If there's no other alternative, this suits me just perfectly well. We can carry on and watch the 4 episodes as a block. And I think that'll be great. And I'm looking forward to also seeing how well these episodes stand up to the Blu-ray quality now, as to whether or not there's any noticeable upscale or any noticeable difference. I appreciate it's still 405 line and poor, some of those recordings aren't brilliant, but I just wonder how much more they're able to get out of some of those.
I mean, some of the clips look beautiful. I mean, Web Planet aside, which is still in its Vaseline glory, some of the others look really nice.
I mean, Derek, I know, going back to the reconstruction, Derek will do a great job on the tape, cleaning that all up and remastering that for James might even watch the reconstruction of the Crusade missing episodes for this.
Wow.
I might do.
But that's what happens at the end of this story. Okay.
10.
No, you'd have to just Photoshop the meddling monk in at the end.
I'll just put the monk in the background, hiding behind something, and I'll be like 10.
But yeah, I'm not expecting to come away watching this thinking, my word, that's 4K ready. That's beautiful. I think it's just in some ways, I suppose, putting the set together and making it part of the collection.
And having recently gone through and reviewed this season on our Talking About series, it's a really strong season, and it's a big change in direction for the series from series 1 as you move into series 3. It sort of goes down a starting of a slightly different path with some of the changeover of the companions in the regular series lineup. So yeah, there's lots in this one. There's lots to watch, isn't there, as it comes through the episodes.
And a shout out as well for Richard Bignell, who's I think it's about 4,500 pages of PDF material going on. And it's one of those things, I suppose, because you don't readily put the disc on, and you have to put your drive in, which is worth doing. I mean, I've got a little Blu-ray drive in, you can pull it all off, but there's a heck heck of a lot of stuff on there. That's worth having a look through. Sort of rehearsal scripts, camera scripts, production documents. You see who broke what leg, what day, and who was suing who, and all that kind of stuff. It's all quite fun.
What do you think? I know we talked about this on our last box set review, but the behind the sofa combinations. So they've followed the same path as we talked about previously, where they put groups together rather than potentially mixing, because you've got Maureen, Peter, and Carol Ann in one block. So rather than have people that were in it spread across, then you've got Wendy, Sarah, and Janet, and then you've got Bonnie and Sophie.
I'm sure. Well, the thing is, actually, because I think I might have said on a previous, I might have had a hint about this. That I think actually Maureen, Carol Ann, Peter is actually quite a good combination, because they're all there, but at differing times and with differing lengths. So Maureen sort of almost. So actually, be interesting for Carol Ann to see what happened after she left immediately. Because I don't imagine in the Carol Ann Ford household she's ever cracked open the rescue and the Romans and gone, let's see what's happening here for a Saturday night. So she can see sort of what would have been following for her. Maureen can see sort of what was immediately before, because she wasn't a big. I don't think they had a telly. I'm sure the story she wasn't a, you know, the family weren't big on the viewing, so she wasn't a big Doctor Who fan before. I could be wrong. And Peter obviously comes in sort of at the end of it all, so he can see the build up to, you know, where he comes in for it. So I think that's probably quite an interesting, because there'll be shared experiences within the, you know, the production at the time. So I think that's a good combination. Wendy will give Janet some, so that's quite fun.
You can already see that's happening.
And Bonnie and Sophie are there. They might be completely confused by it all, but they're always very positive about everything, both of them. So I think some nice setups there actually.
Mm.
Does still, I slightly think somebody could just do with being in there that can say this is this. Oh, that makes that sense. But I think they slightly push them a bit more with in between information rather than reactive information.
Yeah. So we excited?
Oh, someone is. Jason.
Well, it wasn't me there, but I am excited for this. I sort of had half an idea it was going to be season 2 announced next, and really great to have that confirmed. And yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to this release. This will be a must watch, even though we've just recently rewatched it. I can see me going back to it all again and watching it all again in its glorious Blu-ray format.
But having waited so many months for an announcement, and it has been quite a while actually since the last one, I wish they would say on release on 20th of October. It's kind of just coming soon.
Because if some sites were advertising it as New Year's Eve 2025, I was like, wow, that's quite some wait.
Well, get your pre-ordering, because if it sells out, you miss out. But yeah, no, I think that's my bugbear. I think lovely, and you get all the positive thing of people going, I must pre-order that and blah blah blah, isn't exciting. Then go, when's it coming out? Then is it next week, next year, next month? The inference from people who know is that it should be by November, I think. Whatever it is, the formula is just add sort of 4 weeks on and then minus a week.
and hope it coincides where we can get everyone together at Chiswick.
Just depends on who you order it from. There's normally like a 2-week difference.
But of course, if you do find yourself struggling to wait that long, you can always check out the Who Talk commentaries for season 2. Come on. It was worth stopping up to 3 a.m. watching them sell Raquel Welch wigs the other day. It just hones the skills. I'm not even lying about that. Okay, well, that is season 2. Keep an eye out on our channels, because we have got some non-commercial related stuff coming up. So we've got some more season 2 little videos that might be of interest for you to keep an eye on. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
And oh no, he's not getting the camera back. Make your
No
buzzing
way.
noise again.
It's that buzzing noise. I think James has still got it going on there. Nice to be here and looking forward to this one.
That's the season 2 buzz for you folks. We'll see you soon for another reaction.